Next, we have Chairman Bob Turner, who will introduce and present the American Patriot of the Year Award to Chairman John J. LaValle. He's chairman of the Suffolk County Republican Party, and Fox News contributor. So, I just want to say a couple of words about the chairman. You. Chairman Bob Turner is the current county chairman of the Queens Republican Party, and he's also a former congressman of a district that covers part of Brooklyn and Queens. He won an epic special election against a longtime Democrat, Dave Wepper, in an overwhelmingly Democratic district, becoming the first Republican to represent the area in over 80 years. Let's give it up. So let's welcome Congressman Chairman Bob Turner.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you. I have a distinct honor tonight and a job to do, and that's to introduce another county chairman from Suffolk County, my senior. He has been county chair since '09. Prior to that, John LaValle was the county town supervisor for Brookhaven, pretty large town. And he adhered to Republican principles: lower taxes, smaller government. When I say lower taxes, John just explained to me how he cut taxes one year 100%. Got that? 100%. That's not done too often. He is a person that has adhered to Republican principles, fiscal responsibility, and kept alert to the mood of his constituency. In 2009, he moved from the supervisor to the county chair. And the proof of a county chair's effectiveness is in the pudding. John has recaptured 24 seats from the Democrats in Suffolk. On the local, the county, the state, and recently a congressional. Nice work. But the most important thing that he did in the past year is that he stood up, judging from his political astuteness, that Donald J. Trump was the only person we had who would beat Hillary Clinton. And he was by himself. Oh, all right, we had Congressman Collins upstate and Carl Palladino and a few others. But for a way out in front public figure, this is a person that stood up with courage, conviction, and political astuteness. He gave our president credibility, believability, and confidence at a point he really needed it. And he was 100% right. God bless you, John. So, without further ado, John, would you kindly come up? We'd like to present you with this award, but let me give it to you after you speak.
That sounds good. Thank you. We're going to go. Thank you, Phil. Well, thank you, Congressman, Chairman. That's awesome. Those are great titles, aren't they? Let me put this right here. Can't have that wrinkle. But wow, this is it's truly an honor for me to be recognized by this organization. I was shocked when I learned that it was founded in 1875, 142nd anniversary of this organization, the oldest Republican club in the United States of America. That's pretty cool. But that's only pretty cool. What's pretty cool is that it's the hometown, the home community of our president, Donald J. Trump. That's really cool. That's awesome. And I want to thank Chairman Bob Turner for the introduction, and those are some kind words. And, you know, being a county chair in the state of New York, it's an exciting thing. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But working with individuals like Bob Turner, that's meaningful. That's when, you know, whatever you do in life, no matter what it is, and it could be anything on the face of the earth, it could be a janitor. As long as, you know, it's meaningful. As long as you believe what you're doing is meaningful and you're making a difference. And working with individuals like this, it's phenomenal. And to see that he's helping to bring Queens together, because, you know, when I first came in as a county chair in '09, there was a lot of the Hatfields and the McCoys and everything. And let me tell you something, for those, regardless of what side of these disputes you're on, we can fight over crumbs as Republicans. But if we unite, we share steak. And we need to always remember that as a team. It's very important. Very important. And I know my friend Craig Eaton is out there. I'd love to see him again. He was with me from the beginning. And I want to acknowledge John Katzimatidis and all the great work he has been doing for this Republican Party. But, you know, what we did in Suffolk was pretty amazing this last year. And I want to talk a little bit about Suffolk because we have a lot of our town chairs here. And, you know, I don't want to take all of that credit because, trust me, while I was running in and out of New York City and wherever I might have been trying to advocate for the president-elect, these individuals who are here today, a bunch of them are, some are not, they were there in the streets fighting. And, you know, that's an old bio. We actually have about 30 seats that we've taken back from the Democrat Party, and a lot has to do with our town chairs right here that are with me tonight. And it's awesome. And, you know, it was a very easy sell, in my estimation. And for the, believe it or not, so now you're in Queens, and part of what I was asked to speak about this evening is about, you know, what about the future? What about how do we win? Well, guess what? As Republican as you think we might be in Suffolk, Donald Trump was the first Republican to win Suffolk County in a quarter of a century. So these chairs know that, you know, in '09, when I came rolling in, we had nothing. We had lost most of everything. Suffolk was an incredibly Republican town, and it had gone kind of the other way. And it's taken all of us a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, hypothetically, actually probably literally, to get it back on track. But you can do it. Donald Trump, and I want to speak a little bit about him. This is a man that's easy to support. The media is not going to tell you that because they want to divide us. They've divided this country. You've seen what's happened over the last 8 years. America is not a better place. Donald Trump truly wants to make it a better place. This is a man who wants to apply common sense to our government. It's no more. He sat there and said, there's two things he wanted to do. He wanted to fix this economy, and he wanted to make our families safe. And that's it. And the rest of it, he was going to let, you know, guys like Mike Pence handle. But he can fix this economy because it's common sense that we have to apply. And, you know, John Katzimatidis talked about the stock market being at over 21,000. Consumer confidence right now is the highest it's been in 15 years. Businesses are now starting to hire again. Not because of any law that's been passed, not because of any policy that's been implemented, because they believe again. And that's what Donald Trump is bringing to America, the ability to believe again. You know, one of the most amazing times, and I'm going to tell you, they heard this speech the other night, part of this speech, so forgive me, group. You know, Donald Trump, some of the things, and I got the ability to sit with him and talk with him from time to time and strategize and just discuss, and it was pretty awesome to be able to sit in Trump Towers with Mr. Trump, now President Trump. But he said some pretty interesting things to me that really tipped me over the top for him. You know, first of all, he truly believes that we are only as strong as our weakest link. And as he started to discuss that, he has this interest in helping inner cities. Now, most Republicans are saying, you know, there's no votes for us there. That's not true. There's actually more votes there for us than there are anywhere else, if you talk about turning a vote. But he thought, you can't rebuild an economy. He's a businessman, by the way. He's not a politician. So, like, we're really, like, you know, we drank a lot of the Kool-Aid. Matter of fact, the Kool-Aid jar was empty at one point in this party. The truth is, he sees it for what it is. I'm glad that he's a Republican. I'm glad that where he's bringing this party. Because he sees it that, you know what, you cannot have inner cities with overwhelming poverty, with education systems that leave no future for the children of that community. You cannot have that and build a country. You can't do it. We cannot continue. You know, every person, when you turn to inner cities, every person that you give a job, it's one less dollar of welfare our government spends and one more dollar of income put in an individual's pocket that wants to do one thing: provide for their family, have a home, provide a future. So this balance sheet that he sees in his head that no politician seems to get is a simple one. We're as strong as our weakest link. And that's why communities like Queens, it doesn't matter that, you know, it's overwhelmingly Democrat. People say, oh, well, you know, we don't get votes there. Do you know how important you are in our process? First of all, I'm going to be selfish. We share, you know, Eastern Queens, we share the 3rd congressional district. And if I want to win a congressional district, the 3rd one, we got 2, we got to do this as a team. I need you. We need you. We got to do this as a team. Because you know what? And this mayoral race is going to be great. And believe me, we're going to be here helping you. Suffolk will be there. But so true it is with this party statewide. We're only as strong as our weakest link. You can't write off New York City. We can't win statewide unless you step up. And we have to redefine. Maybe you do. Because I was told by Phil that, you know, some people are becoming demoralized. Well, let's pretend this is a team. And let's pretend counties, maybe like Suffolk, we play a lot of offense. So maybe we're shooting the ball a lot and we're scoring a few points. But you know what? You can't win a game without defense. And don't judge your success or failure based upon whether you outright win. Did you do better than yesterday? Is next year's election going to be better than last year's election? Because if you can get to a certain percentage, it doesn't matter how much we win in Suffolk. If you don't get to a certain percentage in New York City, we lose as a team. So what does it matter? What does it matter? We could have all the congressmen in the world coming out of Suffolk, all the state senators, and we got a sweep of them. And we've got virtually a sweep of our assembly persons. But what does it matter if the state is the other way? So we have to work as a team. We have to think of as a team. Everyone has a role. You know, not everybody's going to shoot the ball, but someone's got to pass the ball. And like I said, someone's got to play defense. And what you need to do is, you know, reevaluate what your points of success are and how you could be, you know, contribute to this team. Because this team's message, you know, you can clap for that. This team's message is the right message, not just for New York State, for the entire country. And this country was broken. And it's going to take a lot to fix it. Because it's not just one part that's broken. We're not safe anymore. And by the way, you know, Donald Trump is not a racist. Donald Trump is not a sexist. Donald Trump doesn't dislike Muslims. He doesn't want this ban they call. No, it's common sense. Why, we should be vetting people that are coming into our country. Why not? Think about it. I remember in the beginning of that election, Donald Trump said, all the drugs are coming up through the Mexican border. And he was ridiculed by everyone. By the end of the election, Hillary Clinton and 17 national security agencies all agreed with Donald Trump. And just the other day, our local paper, Newsday, wrote that it's estimated 94% of the heroin that is in our community on Long Island, and probably in your community right here in Queens, is coming up from the Mexican border. So yes, we do have to secure the border. Yes, we do have to make sure that we do not have drugs that are poisoning our children. You know, you can't educate them if they're on drugs. So much of what this man has said has been right. And listen, he's brought a lot of interesting times upon himself, no doubt. It's all good. You know, Donald Trump, he's a showman. He likes to be extraordinary. You know, he does like to entertain you. But they hold him to a degree that is ridiculous. You know, if he said, you know, a couple days ago, wow, it was the coldest day of the year, they'd fact check him and say, well, technically it wasn't the coldest day of the year, Mr. Trump. He's just trying to tell you it's really cold outside. So you can't hold him to what he says to those things. It's amazing. But you could never know how important it is for what you do. You are on the front line. You are Queens Republicans. That means you actually really believe in this stuff. Because you know what? Because you're surrounded by those that don't. You are literally in Baghdad. That's where you are. No, not literally, sorry. I gotta watch it when you're in the city. It's all fact-checking me. But what I'm trying to say is, I am really impressed by your dedication and commitment to this Republican Party because you are surrounded by more than most that think otherwise. Most that have fallen for this liberal hypocrisy, this failure of approach of government. Our goals are very simple, you know, and by the way, both parties want to do the right thing. They actually do. Democrats do want to do good for people. And by the way, so do we. If the media is out there, so do we. There's a difference. There's a difference, though. You know, and it's a religious thing, but I'll say, I call it like the Jesus example. You know, they want to hand you a fish, we want to teach you how to fish. We want to teach people, we want to empower people to be the best they could be, to be great businessmen and women, to be leaders within their own community. They want to hand you someone else's money. They say, well, you have $1, so we're going to give you 50 cents for it. No. No. Because this nonsense that we went through over the last 8 years, and we created an entire generation of participation trophy recipients. People that believe, oh, no, you shouldn't say winning and losing. I go to my son's field day. When we had it, you used to get ribbons, first place, second place, third place. You have races and all that. You're not allowed to do that anymore. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. You know what? That is not training our children for the future. You've got to know winners and losers. Life is full of winners and losers. And by the way, the best lessons you ever learn is the lessons you learn when you lose, not when you win. Not when you win. You have to find your place in life by winning and losing. And the example I used the other night is, you know, if Bill Gates didn't find out at a really young age, you know, when he went out for the basketball team and he got cut, he didn't realize he was a geek way back then. We actually might not have had the foremost technological mind in the history of the world because Bill Gates had to face the winning and losing and know what his place was. And the generation that he grew up in forced him to a place where he became, well, listen, I go Castamatidis is near him, but you know, a multi-billionaire, filled a dream that you could never imagine. And we need to teach our children that it's okay to lose. Of course, winning's better. And with our president, if we continue to do these things and continue to preach this message to everyone, they're going to come one by one, folks. They're not going to come easy, but one by one. And you can win this mayoral race, by the way. And we need you to. We need you to. Your mayor is, I'm going to be real sure. Your mayor is not doing a good job. He's not. He's not. No, you know, because, see, here's the difference. Like I said before, everybody means well, but, you know, we kind of know how to get it done. So here's a Democrat mayor where homelessness is now up over 300%. What's up with that? Here's, you know, we had a president, an African-American president, where inner cities would have done worse than in the history of this country. How's that possible? I know they mean well, but they can't get it done. We can get it done. And I look out across this room, just like a lot of rooms that I'm looking out across now, and I'm starting to realize we are the party of the big tent. Because I see men, I see women, I see black, I see white, I see brown, I see all kinds of people, Asian. We are now the party of the big tent. And we have to use that message. Because Donald Trump's going to put a lot of Americans back to work. And we need to remind them who got that done. So, I will just close. Originally, they said they wanted me to speak for like 30 or 40 minutes. I said, I'll be dead in 41 minutes. They'll kill me. But I thank you with the, you know, this was such a privilege to work with, I guess, now President Trump this year. In our business, this is the Super Bowl. You know, the presidential election is the Super Bowl. And the privilege to be involved and as a surrogate on his behalf and to assist him in fundraising and sometimes strategy was absolutely incredible. We picked the right guy. You know, you looked at that stage and it was the Big Ten. if you look at all the different types of Republicans that tried to be president, and everyone who sat up there, I'm very proud of this party, and I am very proud of our president, and I want to thank this organization for, I don't know why you picked me, but thank you. And I want to continue to work with you because we're going to win. And by the way, we are not going to get sick of winning, by the way. We're not. Trump's wrong about one thing. One thing. The Republican Party will never get sick of winning because when we win, America wins. So thank you. God bless you, and God bless this country. Thank you.
Take this.